appointment, turned and picked up the phone. No questions? Oh.
Reception is or receptionist? Receptionist.
The person at the reception desk, the receiving desk is the receptionist. If you go into a doctor's office, there is normally a receptionist that will ask you who you are, show your insurance maybe, and tell you to take a seat. The doctor will be with you momentarily. Oh, thank you, Miss Receptionist. The greeter, the receiver, the receptionist. Any other questions? Receptionist is the person at the reception desk.
This is mean during the woman one moment she said as she is mean during she told
Yeah.
during
Oh, one moment. That is as she turned, one moment. Yeah, it's all in one thing. Oh, okay, one moment. It's all in one motion. As she's turning, she's saying one moment. As she turned, at the moment she was turning, she said one moment. Picks up the phone, calls the International Bank office, and says, Mr. Smith is here. Okay? Any other questions? Okay. Okay. We'll just have a short period here. She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied, and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7. She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied, and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied, and moved toward the elevator. Elevator, sometimes referred to as a lift. Elevator. He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7. He entered and pressed 7. Pressed 7. Right, go ahead. Okay.
He soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7.
Right, good. Good job. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Replied, and moved toward the elevator. 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 He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon told Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied, and moved to elevator. He entered and pressed 7.
Right, he entered and pressed 7. She soon turned, turned. She soon turned. Okay.
She soon turned Mr. Smith and said, Mr. will see you soon. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith
Replied
and moved
toward
the elevator. He
entered
and
pressed 7. Right. Very good. He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied and moved towards the elevator. And
He entered and pressed 7.
Right, he entered and pressed 7. Toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith replied, and moved her toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7.
Right, very good. Replied and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to Mr. Smith and said, Mr. Jones will see you now. His office is on the 7th floor. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Replied and moved toward the elevator. He entered and pressed 7.
Right, very good. He entered and pressed 7, turned to Mr. Smith, elevator, he entered and pressed 7. Okay.
She soon turned to